Life is precious, and we all have the opportunity of living it to the fullest. Unfortunately, so few of us know how to manage it all. How do we account for our opportunities? How do we account for our time? How do we account for our relationships, health, spirituality, homes, finances, influence, and careers? How do we account for the one life we have to live? I am so glad you asked. In this program, you will find answers to all of these questions and more. Welcome to the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore.
What's happening, everybody? What's going on? I want to welcome you back to another episode of the Account for Your Life podcast, and I just want to wish you a happy new year. This is our first episode of the year, and I'm super excited about being back, about being here, and about sharing the good news of what it is that God can do in your life. And so let's jump right into the program, which today we're talking about to heal or to have health. Guys, it's January, right? It's January. And in January, what's the number one goal most people make? Well, there's two goals. It's make more money, and it's, hey, I need to get in the best shape of my life, or I need to lose weight, or, something to do with health. And it's an amazing thing to, to aspire to have when technically you already have it. It's interesting because, when I thought about this yesterday, I was thinking about health, and I was thinking about, the best shape of my life. I'm thinking about, really, really what health means to me, how can I, how can God use my body, right, to be a testimony for him? And, at the same time, it's crazy. At the same time, I'm like, man, all of a sudden, I get a sore throat. I'm just like, I'm thinking about being more in my health, and then all of a sudden I'm getting a sore throat. I'm like, where's that come from? How did that happen? Why is that happening? What is that about? To heal or to have health? Having health is interesting because we take for granted. Like, I'm sure if you're anything like me, you and I have taken for granted time, right? Time, because time is one of the things that we use in order to elevate. Time is one of the things that we use in order to become more. Time is what we use, and time is what God uses to ensure that we'll wind up right back where he saw us from the beginning. That's what God uses time for, that reason. How do I know that God uses that time? Well, because God had to create a system. One of the things that I discovered in learning about business and about success is that everything is about a system. And your system is what makes sure and ensures that you get a result. That's what the system does. The system says, if there's going to be a result, there has to be a way to get it. So it's kind of like, we went to Chick-fil-A. My son works at Chick-fil-A down in North Carolina. The same Chick-fil-A as up here in Maryland, they doing the same thing, except they may have a few different things on their menu, but there's a system behind it. There's a system that produces the food over and over and over again. So God created time as his system so that if something happens, you could use time in order to get back. So think about this. It's the beginning of the year, and it's the second day of the year. And you said, man, I'm going to lose that 20, that 30, that 40 pounds. It could be 100. I'm going to do that in 2023. Healing is the same as having health. It's the same, right? Because healing comes from the inside. Everybody thinks that, it's about what's on the outside of me. I've got this fat on the outside of me, when really it's something on the inside that just needs to be healed. What is that? You're telling me just because, if I'm overweight, then there's something on the inside that has to be healed? Yeah, absolutely. What needs to be healed? How I look at food. I have to heal myself with how I see food. See, what's interesting about food is that, I was eating yesterday. I was just like, food's overrated. Food is overrated, right? Because the only reason I have an idea about any kind of food is because I was introduced to the food. What if all I ate when I was a kid was vegetables? What if all I drank as a kid was water? What if all I did when I was a kid and my parents did it was all we did was walk and exercise and really was in tune with our body? What if that's all we did? Then that means that my context of health would be totally different. My context would be different. So the thing about this healing thing, which when you go to the Bible, you go to the Bible and you read the stories about, how Jesus healed, and then Jesus gave authority. He gave authority to the disciples to heal. Now, from that perspective, from many of those perspectives, those people really needed healing. Those people really needed healing. But here's the thing: when it comes to our health, on just on the baseline, the weight that we carry, oh, we can do that one. We've got that under control. How we think, oh, you can change your thoughts. Now, certain things, if you were born blind, oh, no. You can't. I can't heal myself of that. I cannot heal myself of something that happened to me, or at least it doesn't seem like it. Now, but I've heard stories. Here's the stories that I've heard. I've heard stories of people getting healed from something that happened on the inside of them. It's not that someone healed them, even though someone did. Like, well, Jay, what are you talking about? Here's what I'm talking about. This is Dr. Joe Dispenza. I saw him on YouTube, and he wrote a really good book, Being Supernatural. And what's interesting, before I talk about him, just think about superheroes and what a superhero means. Most superheroes can't be hurt. Most superheroes typically, if they get hurt, they come back. Now, there's certain things that can hurt a superhero, at least the ones that we watch on the movie screen. There's certain things that can hurt them, but for the most part, superheroes can go through anything. We don't think God did that. We don't think God set us up for that. God put healing already in you. God put healing already in me. So when we get sick, if we were to get sick, it means that there's an imbalance somewhere. It means that we've let something in that we shouldn't have let in. So Dr. Joe was sharing some stories about people that came to his conference, and what they do is they work on the inside of the person. They help people to change, not physically, even though the physical will change, like health on the outside will change, but the inside is what needs to be healed. The man on the inside, the woman on the inside needs a healing. And he works with people and he teaches people how to access their inner self. It's interesting because he doesn't have a church. He doesn't quote Bible texts. He doesn't prophesy. He just uses science, and he just uses the fact. He's like, wait a second. Yes, God has given us this ability. I'm a kingdom person. Grew up in the church, grew up Christian, all that stuff. But when I go to church, there's a lot of sick people. There's a lot of sick people who are not using what's on the inside of them to heal themselves. Heal themselves. So healing yourself, technically it's kind of like if I'm walking around and I'm talking about I'm the healthy accountant helping you to account for your life, and I can't deal with my own life. What am I talking about? Healthy accountant helping you to account for your life. And when I looked at, where I'm pointing myself this year, I won't even call them a goal, right? Because Darren Hardy said, he said something in an email recently. He says, don't even set goals. Don't set goals. There's no point in setting goals. There's no point in you writing down the list and having all this stuff you want to have and things you're going to do if you are not fully committed to what it is that you decide you will do. And I said that I'm just going to point myself in the direction of where I'm going. I don't even have to set a goal to have the best shape of my life. I don't have to do that. I just got to show up I got to show up to the gym, shape. I have to show up to the gym. That's a part of the physical aspects of getting into shape. I'm healing my body by doing that. I'm in full control over that. Hey, man, I'm going to point myself in the direction of the type of business that I know I would like to have. It's way bigger than where I've ever been, but you know what? I'm still going to point myself in the direction of that. And so what that means is every day I'm going to show up, I'm going to wake up, I'm going to do, what is that? One of the systems, I'm gonna let you go in like 2 minutes. One of the systems that I've discovered about business, which got from another person who's using a system, because system is how you actually achieve something. It's like, okay, well, the first thing you want to do if you have a business and you want to grow it, what do you have to get? Leads, leads. That's the first thing. If you're not getting leads, don't do anything else. Just get leads. That's it. Just get some leads. Get leads, and then you have to have something to sell them. But I'm assuming you have something to sell them, so you got something to sell them. But you're getting leads, and then you're making offers, getting leads and making offers, getting leads and making offers. That's how you build a business. There's more steps, but if that step's not happening, then you're not doing anything. So everyone has the ability to heal themselves of the area that they would like to be more healthy in. You want to be healthy in your business. You want to be healthy in your life. You want to be healthy in your body. You want to be healthy in your relationship. You want to be healthy in your finance. You want to be healthy in your spirituality. You have the ability to heal yourself. So it's not to heal or to have health. It's to heal and to have health. It's to heal and to have. So you have the ability to heal yourself. Don't think somebody's coming to heal you. No one's coming. I'm going to say it again. Don't think anyone's coming to heal you. No one is coming to heal you. You have the ability. You have the control. I'm not just pointing at you, and I'm not saying you have to do it. I'm talking to myself. This Account for Life podcast is created to heal me. I'm just telling you what I'm healing myself from. To heal and to have health is to realize that I have control over me, over what's happening in my life. Not necessarily all the circumstances, but what I have control over is what my actions are today. So if today is January the 2nd, and health, getting in the best shape of your life is where you would like to point yourself. Get your butt over to the gym and work out for 45 minutes to an hour. Go walk in for 45 minutes to an hour. Go do something. That's the first thing. You can't say that you're gonna be in the best shape of your life and you don't do it. Next thing for best shape of your life. Create a new meaning of what food is. I'm gonna say it again. Create a new meaning of what food is, which means that you know how we go in. Oh, it's gotta just taste so good. You better get that out of your mind. You better just get it out of your mind, because sometimes what tastes good ain't what you should be eating. I'm not saying you can't make something taste good, but what tastes good may not be what you should be eating in order to get into the best shape of your life. I want you to think about that. Man, I heard a really good sermon this morning while I was at the gym. It wasn't even really a sermon, it's more of a teaching. And it blew me away about this double-minded theme. Think about this theme. James talks about this in James in the book James. There's a verse that James talks about being double-minded. I'm gonna let you go in just a second. And he talks about, it's kind of like, so there's a conscious level. So on the conscious level, you say, man, I would like to be in the best shape of my life. We're just going to use that. And then on the subconscious level, you don't actually do it. You don't actually believe that. So what happens is you become double-minded because you don't actually believe subconsciously what you're saying you believe consciously. You see that? So if anything's going to change, you have to know that I can't be double-minded. I'm going to get in the best shape of my life, which means that my subconscious have to believe that as well as my consciousness. That means that the moment you say, well, I'm not going to do that today. Ooh, that's going to keep you unhealthy. If you don't do it today, it's going to keep you unhealthy. Like I took the day off from working out yesterday. Jenny was like, you're not working out on the first day of the year? I said, I don't have to. Maybe somebody who hasn't been doing it needs to. I usually work out 5 or 6 days a week. I only take 1 day off, typically, sometimes 2, but typically it's 6 days. So I don't need motivation to go to the gym. I just said on the first, I wasn't going to the gym because on the first, I was doing something else. And that was a time where I was. Healing is a word that came into my spirit yesterday. We're going to talk about healing this whole year because I need healing. And if you need healing, you should talk about healing all year long. But here's the thing. Remember this double-minded thing? Just because we're talking about it doesn't mean we're going to get it. It means that I have to believe in my spirit, in my subconscious mind, of the same truth that I'm talking about. I have to believe that in my subconscious. This year, this podcast is about health. It's about healing. And it's about actually believing the things that you say and doing the things that you need to do today so that that healing can take place in your life. Won't you come with me this year on a miraculous journey? This will be a miraculous journey for you and for me this year because what we're going to experience this year is something that's never happened. Financially, spiritually, healthfully, relationships, every area that you would like to change, every area that you would like to see healed and health all at the same time. That's where we're going. And I hope you'll be there with me every day on the Account for Life podcast. My name is Jay Moore. I'm the Healthy Accountant. And today, healing and health is where we're going to start. God bless you. And I'll see you on the next episode. Peace.
Thanks for joining us, listening friends. We are so glad you invested this time with us. Always remember, you only have one life to live, so live it to the fullest. This has been the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore. Until next time, make it a great day.